My name is Dr. Jordan Murphy, also known as Dr. J.
My name Ricky Usher, also known as Dip.
Dip, Mayor of Mechanicsville. We are here with Brave Space, and Brave Space is a healing place for gun violence prevention professionals and survivors. When we meet together, we meet, we process, and we also heal in community. What's a Brave Space to you?
Brave Space to me is somewhere I can go to, get it all out. Sometimes I can't, I'm not able to talk to a lot of people all the time because, everybody bring their problems to me. So Brave Space, me getting together with people that doing a light work just like me and being able to just get it out, a place where we can go to just, let out what's inside of us. Basically a place where the healing, the people that heal
Yeah.
people, they get healed. So, a place where the healers can get healed.
So Dip, I thought I would start us off just asking some social emotional type questions
Emotional.
to kind of
Understood.
kind of open up the conversation.
Okay.
You gonna answer my questions?
Best that I can.
Okay. The first question: do you turn on read receipts or no?
Nah.
Tell me why.
If you want to look at my phone, I got 1,250 some unread messages. So
Okay.
I really don't like to do that.
Yeah. You don't want anyone to know when you read the message.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me why.
Because I just don't want nobody to
Just
know
don't
when I
want-
read the message. Because
Yeah.
some of the stuff people text me, or messages that come through, it really don't mean nothing to me at
Okay.
that point. What's important, I'm going to read it. But if it
Okay.
ain't important to me, got,
You gonna move on?
40-some thousand unread emails,
Okay.
1,200 and some unread texts. That's just,
Okay.
I just do that.
So no read receipts.
Nah,
Nah.
not at all.
I'm gonna agree with you. I feel like it's kind of like social emotional bondage, right?
Yeah.
It's like you want to know exactly when I read your message.
Yeah, and then people
Right.
like, I see you read my message.
Why you ain't respond?
Yeah, get out
Okay.
my face,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
What are you
Okay.
talking about?
Okay. I like that. Second question.
Mhm.
I probably should know this, but I don't think I know it yet. So I'm gonna see if what I think is right. But what's your response time to insults? So if someone insults you on
ASAP.
social ASAP?
Boy, they talk about it.
Wait, on social media or in person?
I don't get into social media. That ain't.
That's not your thing?
Yeah,
No.
I'm on
Okay.
it, but I don't read subliminals and
You don't read
directs,
into all
and
that?
I am
I
getting
know all
around.
that.
That ain't
Okay.
how. You
Okay.
won't get me like that.
Okay.
I'm a black and white type of dude. Like
Okay.
up front, you be up front with me because I'm gonna be up front with you. And if
Mhm.
it bullshit, I'm gonna give you bullshit time 10,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
we just gonna see where you really at with it.
Okay. So no social insults. They don't seem
Nah,
to bother you. In person.
yeah,
You have a quick response time?
with all that.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, you ain't never seen that side of
No.
me because you don't bring that out of me either though.
You've
When
always
I'm around you, you keep me. I'm telling you, brace may work for me.
it's working for
It
you?
worked for me, yes.
Okay.
Because I know
Tell
it
me
like
how it's working for you.
because you get me to like when we talk about even if it's not brace based, not just got problems or something I'm dealing with, you get it kind of like a calm when I'm talking to you. Like listening to that somebody got me to listen to that to see before
Yeah.
you go to sleep.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
kind of like that when I'm talking to you. Like,
Okay.
all right, I can rile up, but she gonna still talk to me
Okay.
so I can just I get woosah, I guess you can call it that.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
get calm. I like when I talk to you, I get more so calm, and you use that on me. I be
I
seeing,
do.
yeah,
But still, I mean, we've been in groups before,
for
and I
sure.
haven't seen you like have a strong reaction to anyone, whether they said something to you or whether, it was some tension. No?
You ever seen somebody play with me though?
Technically, yes.
Yes,
Technically,
yes.
yes.
But like we found that out though. It
Yes,
wasn't
yes.
not.
It wasn't,
It's
yes.
yeah. We found it
It was
out. It
another
was yeah,
situation.
yeah.
Okay.
It
Okay.
ain't. But too with that, don't I be like I'm finna go say something
You
to
do.
him,
You
and
do.
what you be like,
You're like,
come
let's
on, it ain't
just,
the
yeah,
right
let's just
time right
chill.
now.
Okay.
Exactly. So
Okay. So what keeps you calm besides Brave Space? Because I know that's working for you.
Mhm.
But were you always this calm?
Nah, I think a lot of calmness came from my niece being born
Okay. How old is
because
she?
she 5.
What's her name?
Her name Jayon Tudge. I call her mama.
Mama.
Yeah,
Okay. So
love her to
Mama, she's
pieces.
5.
Yeah, love her to pieces. But it she keep me calm, but too on the back end of it, like I curse a lot, a whole
Mhm.
lot.
Mhm.
But I don't curse around, and I don't like my sister to curse around her.
Mhm.
So, and my sister make me the maddest probably person in the whole world.
Really?
Like she made me so mad.
Yeah.
But I learned how to keep myself calm around because she out
Yeah.
Jayanta is always around. So
Yeah.
I can't curse my sister out or I can't talk to her loud because I know she right there. So like they
Okay.
help me stay calm. She helped me stay calm my
Yeah.
whole life for sure.
How often are you around her?
Much as I can. FaceTime.
Yeah.
If I ain't talked to her in 2 or 3 days, it's gonna have to be a FaceTime and why you ain't called me and we
Mhm.
need to talk about the holiday season. She know I don't deal with
Mhm.
like Christmas and
Yeah.
Thanksgiving and none.
That's
So
not you.
she like making
Yeah.
me talk about that. Like it's just for family. And she 4 years old, but she 5 years old. But I promise you,
She
if you
got
talk
you.
to her, it's like she 21 years
Mhm.
old. She
Mhm.
she gonna talk it out.
Tell me about like how you grew up, like where you're from. Like tell me how you grew up.
All right, I'm actually from Mechanicsville. Uh, I was raised in a dope house, and it ain't like a crack house with people smoking in there.
Mhm.
I was raised in the house where the dealers and stuff was at.
Mhm.
All the cocaine and stuff was getting sold out of there, and
Mhm.
with the big plays and stuff, people went coming to pick it up. So I kind of I didn't really I was too small to understand,
Yep.
but I understood, and I understood that coming up, these would be the people that I'm gonna probably be looking
Mhm.
up to.
Mhm.
And with that, it came a lot. A lot came with it from me even. I ended up getting a whooping one time
Yeah.
because I wanted Kool-Aid and I knew how to make Kool-Aid.
Mhm.
So I went downstairs and, my mom said, ain't no sugar. I go like, it plenty sugar in there. But I got my ass whooped because it wasn't sugar.
Mhm.
It was cocaine. And there was a lot of it.
Okay.
So I got a whipping for that. She like, don't go in that cabinet. You never go in
Mhm.
that cabinet.
Mhm.
Anything else in you go in was just don't go in that cabinet. So
Mhm.
I ended up getting it was a learning lesson, but it was like, damn, why all this shit in
Mhm.
here? So
Mhm.
I come from seeing like triple beam scales to Uzi machine guns. And I seen this at a young age. So
Mhm. How
anybody
old?
from my neighborhood can attest to it, man. I come up like I really come up in the dog 6, 7 years old.
Mhm.
And I'm seeing this stuff, like stuff people probably ain't seen out their whole life. I seen it when I was 5 and 6 years old,
Mhm.
7 years old, going to elementary school. And, understanding that I know what it is, but understanding too, like my mama used to always say, whatever going on in the house, you don't say nothing.
Right.
So just that.
Right.
And I think that's a big part of how I am, why I am how I am now.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yeah.
Did you feel like being in that environment was like wrong, like wasn't in your best interest? Like, did you, especially being so young, did you even have an understanding that maybe it wasn't the best environment?
It taught me a lot.
It taught you a lot.
It taught me a lot from being like, cause the head dude in the neighborhood, they was him and his crew was in there. So it taught me like how to look out for people.
Mhm.
And I think that's why I get that from. Like I
Yeah.
said, a lot of that stuff that happened, it's still wrong with me right now. Like
Mhm.
it taught me how to look out for people. And I know like some of this stuff gonna lean on me. So I'm gonna have to make sure people in the correct
Mhm.
situation. So he had like everybody in the neighborhood work for him.
Mhm.
So I seen that firsthand. So you're like, all right, coming up, I know I'm gonna have to take care of my people. Not nobody working for me, but I know I'm gonna have to take care of my people. So that went with me, and I think I deal with a lot of trauma from the police kicking in my door,
Yeah.
and it happened on several occasions. But every time the police kicked in my door, and I know you know about Red
Mhm.
Dog and all that, you probably heard about
Mhm.
that. But
Mhm.
every time the police kicked in my door, they never took nobody to jail. They never found nothing. But you know what they did take?
What?
Money. Every time
Mhm.
I can recall several times seeing stacks of money on my mama's kitchen table and they taking it.
Mm.
She couldn't do nothing about it. She really didn't care because it was so much money around.
Yeah.
She looked at it as a payment, I think. I don't know because I was young, but I think she looked at it as like they just come in here to get paid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we ain't really worried about it. They'll never find blow in him. So
Mhm.
it is what it is. But I think a lot of the trauma I'm dealing with, because I got a thing with the police. Like I don't,
Yeah.
especially when
For
they
sure.
doing a little too much. That's how the kid talk, doing too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when they doing a lot, it be like, yeah, I ain't finna stand for that. You ain't finna
Mhm.
to get because I ain't bothering nobody
Right.
with law breaking. That'd be the first thing come out my mouth. But it's just that trauma that just come from already been having going through issues with them with my mom and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Like I don't really fuck with the police. I just
Mhm.
don't. I don't. And I know there's some good ones out there, so I know I got to be in relationships with them. But for the most part, I'm about like Muhammad Ali. Like if it's 100 serpents out there and you
Yeah.
know they gonna bite you, but you know 3 of them not gonna bite you, you gonna keep the door open so the
Mhm.
3 can
Mhm.
come in. Nah, we ain't gonna do that. Just all y'all, fuck y'all, and we just go
Yeah.
from there. And then we just build a relationship behind it. If I get an understanding with 1 or 2 of them and they some good people, then okay. But I know at the end of the day, they still got to do their job, and I still got to do my job as taking care of the community and shit. So you know, hopefully we could find a common ground. But
Yeah.
on the front end of it, I feel like a lot of them just on what they on.
Yeah. So you grew up in
Mhm,
Mechanicsville, um, difficult environment, definitely to say the least, right? Definitely a lot of trauma, a lot of exposure.
mhm.
Um, but you came out real good.
Yeah, I definitely did.
Like as far as like as long as I've known you, right? So I think that's worth just like pointing out that, you aren't necessarily like where you start off.
Nah, that's a
Um,
shout out to my mama though.
yeah.
Yeah, I always say you got a woman can't show a boy how to be a man,
Mhm.
but that lady, yeah, she was a different type of she was a
Yeah.
different type of animal. She was a different type of animal. She just knew
Mhm.
what to do, what to say, and just from coming up, she raised all her brothers.
Right.
So she was their mom and made sure they came to be men. So when it came to me, it was like second nature. Like
Mhm.
my dad, she ran him away basically.
Mhm.
He wasn't really around like that. He come around with my baseball game, my basketball games and stuff. But for the most part, my mom was there. Like, no, you gonna go graduate.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn what you do. You gonna do this. You gonna do that. You gonna and when she say something, don't play.
Yeah, she'll do it.
All my buddies and stuff knew too. Like, and they used to think my mom used to be beating me and shit, but it just she had that in her. Like,
Yeah.
when I say something, I mean it. Don't play with me because you know I break your fucking neck. And
Mhm.
she
Mhm.
had to do number say it.
Yeah.
And it was an understanding. So I definitely understood that part.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just a
Um,
shout out to her with being where I am type of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And her birthday's coming up. Y'all birthday,
Me,
same
my
day.
mom, my grandma
And
birthday on the
grandma,
same day.
same day,
Hmm.
same day.
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
This coming
This
Thursday.
coming Thursday.
Okay. Um, what do you think that means that all three of y'all got the same
I,
birthday?
I always knew I was special from that.
Yeah.
From nothing else. It ain't even got to be nothing I done did. It wasn't kind of accolades and people calling me the mayor or none of that.
Mhm.
Just from me, my mom, and my grandma's birthday being on
Mhm.
the same day, I always knew I was special.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that, I just, I go every day just knowing like people looking over me, and
Mhm.
it's just something about me that I need to let the world see it.
Mhm.
The world's starting to see it now, man. I
They
can't even, yeah,
they are.
the
Yeah,
world's starting to
for
open
sure.
their eyes up and be like, he been doing, you get the people that been know me, that
Mhm.
didn't ever
Mhm.
champion the work I did.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
he been doing it. I've been
Yeah.
knowing him and I just let him like, all right, cool.
Like
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. So, how do you both like honor your mom as well as celebrate your birthday? 'Cause I imagine that may be challenging some years.
Um, um, my birthday don't be challenging. You know what be challenging?
What?
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, I can't. In been years, I know Big Greg and Lil Troy and Bobo, they gonna probably see this,
Mhm.
but they know, like, on Mother's Day, they end up calling me, and I don't answer the phone for nobody because I
Yeah.
can't get out I never can get out the bed, and it's
Yeah.
been years since my mom died, all the way to now. I can't get out the bed. It just
Mhm.
like as soon Mother's Day hit, it just I be crying, crying, just crying and crying and crying and crying, just getting it all out, and
Mhm.
it be real hard.
Mhm.
And I ain't been able to really like cope with it yet. But I
Yeah.
guess crying, I'm coping with it a little bit. But it just be hard. Like Mother's Day be worst day
Yeah.
every time. And like my family know, but like for most part, my homies, they
Mhm.
know they'll call me. They like, yeah, I
Mhm.
gotta,
Mhm.
just hitting them up, and they'll call me until I answer the
Until you
phone,
answer.
and I end up answering like I'm alright, just
Mhm.
letting them know I'm alright. But they definitely know like Mother Day be
It's
real
the
bad.
hard, yeah.
Yeah,
What do you miss about her the most?
uh, just me always like kind of. I'm the baby kid. Like
Mhm.
my sister older than me, so I like the baby. So just me like being under her still like older,
Uh-huh.
and then like being able to get on her nerve and to just get her to say stuff that I want her to say. It's just that like I miss that about her. She brightened me up a lot, and it was a lot, and I don't like to really talk about it, but my mom died. I was incarcerated. Yeah, and that it was then that I really got the understanding on what I was doing because I was praying every night.
Mhm.
You know, like God, just let me know what it is that you want me to do.
Mhm.
They say he say, you take the first step and he take the next two.
Yep.
So I just every night I say, whatever it is I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take that first
Mhm.
step. Just take them other two with me. And I've been taking a lot of steps.
Yeah.
And that man been taking all type of steps. Like
Yeah.
everybody know, like from the neighborhood know, if I had it my way, I still be selling dope.
Mhm.
But
He won't
I
let you.
ain't
Yeah.
no, you
Yeah.
won't. I ain't had a urge or make a play or nothing
Yeah.
like them. Like I don't have a need for that shit.
Yeah.
And that ain't nobody but Big Dog. Big
Yeah.
Dog say, boy, we want you to stop that shit.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
stopped it. And now he moving me. He moved people out of my life. He moved people
Move
in
people
my
around.
life. And
Mhm.
he just do that. I know this ain't got nothing to do with me. So when people be like, thank you, Dip, I be like, nah, you just ain't thank God. Cause
Mhm.
y'all know how I'll get down.
Yeah.
I'll be the the nigga, the ice cream truck buying ice cream for all the children. And I still can do it. But that just was a thing that I used to like to do.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
for
I'm gonna
sure.
pull on over here. Y'all
For
get what
sure.
y'all want. That was
Ice
me.
cream man. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Every neighborhood got one.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, for
You were
sure.
Mechanicsville
No
ice
doubt,
cream
no doubt, no
man.
doubt.
So is that what led you to get incarcerated?
Yeah, we got busted and it was a big thing. Like five of us in the house. They blocked the streets out like they had John got it. But I
Mhm.
guess they had been watching us or something. But they locked us up.
Mhm.
Yeah, we definitely went to jail. And I sat in there like 4 months and a half, 4.5 months.
4.5 months.
Yeah, sat in there. They ended up let me out. I ended up making a funeral. Uh, Made it out to the burial site and just, was able to get out what I needed to get out just by, not being there like I knew I could have been.
Mhm.
I could have been there a lot more.
Mhm.
Cause mom still was, doing what she do, gaming people, telling them if I ain't coming around me so they can feel sorry and give them money. Like
Yeah.
that's just how she is. My
Yeah.
mom was goddamn we talk you out your shirt. And y'all don't even wear the
Yeah.
same size.
Yeah.
But that's just how she moved, you know what I'm saying? She was a hustler.
Mhm.
So that what it was. But just looking at it now, and I always say like I could have did more.
Mhm.
I could have said more. So
To your mom.
yeah, with that, it's just that's the kind of the only regret I might have
Mhm.
that I went down more. But other than that, man, my mom lived a good life. She lived a real good life, the life she wanted to live.
Yeah.
She ain't had to be rich and none of that shit, but she lived the life that she wanted to live. So one time for big step, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time for her, man, for sure.
What do you think she would say about you today? Like,
Uh,
if she were looking down, like, if she
yeah,
knew.
she already doing it. I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
what would
I
she
know
say?
for a fact my mom's sitting right near to God every day saying, "Damn, my boy, we got to make sure we look out for him." And he's
Yeah.
saying, "Step, go your ass over there. Go over there. You
Yeah,
say this every day. We
yeah,
got him. Just go over. He
we
doing
got
good
it.
work. You see, he doing good. Just go over there." So I know
Yeah,
it. Like in the old heads, I'm actually doing the Mechanicsville reunion this year.
okay.
We had it in a long time. Permitted. I got permits, and I've been had to sit down with all type of people.
Mhm.
But I got it permitted, and the old heads, they even telling me like, "Boy, I know Step proud of you, boy,
Yeah.
cause you doing some good stuff." With them seeing like my face on the side of the stove,
Mhm.
and then me doing this, and me just stepping in that lane to be the person that in the neighborhood that they can look
Mhm.
for some leadership. That speaks a whole lot, and two, it just make them feel like, all right, we got somebody that's one of us that's going out here and making it happen for the neighborhood. And the neighborhood is kind of messed up because it's just kind of me there.
Yeah.
So, with my organization, I plan on, identifying some more of those folks and then training them up to be not me, but
Like
doing the
you.
stuff
Yeah.
that I do when I ain't around so I can go do trainings. I do well, you don't y'all don't know I do training or
Yeah.
CBVI training that's community based violent intervention
Mhm.
intervention trainings. I do them all over the nation. I've been St. Louis, New
Yeah.
Orleans, I got Chattanooga started. I just Oklahoma City. Just did it in DeKalb County. Shout out to whole hustlers. I just trained them too. Hopefully we can do some fruitful stuff moving on in the future. But definitely
Yeah.
I'm doing CBVI training all over the nation, and people starting to recognize the work I'm doing, and stuff starting to happen for me.
For sure. So it took you 4.5 months to kinda change things around,
Yeah,
is
and
that
I was already kind of like I was already one of them people like telling the kid like, "Nah, y'all can't hang right here.
Mhm.
Y'all take y'all out of school."
Mhm.
But it just kind of like intensified. That's a word.
Yeah, it's a word.
It kind of intensified
Yeah.
inside when I was inside the can, and just getting to understand. I was already like volunteer coaching, so with me volunteer coaching, it just was like, okay, that's my net.
Mhm.
That's what I need to keep doing. So with me volunteer coaching, just went in there. I already had the pool, and I already
Mhm.
had the relationships in the neighborhood. So
Mhm.
when I started, really getting into coaching and stuff, people just started gravitating toward. It took a minute,
Mhm.
gravitating toward me doing that. And I always say when you get them in there, you can put whatever you need to put on them. So I just had to get somewhere where I can bring people in. So I
Mhm.
brought people to the center, to Dunbar Recreation Center, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Uh, I can honestly say, like, I implemented the Atlanta teen leaders. That was an idea came from me
Mhm.
that it was going on when I was young. Used to call PIC.
Okay.
Used to have teenagers working in counselor. Uh, I thought about that again, and
Mhm.
Seen Reed had a meeting with a couple of my kids, and I told them because my supervisor ended up. I supposed to been in the meeting too. He ended up pulling me out of the meeting. He like people like to take credit for shit.
For sure.
So yeah, he definitely. I can say this. I'm finna
Yeah,
say it.
you can say it.
Yeah, bitch.
Okay.
Straight up. No other way around that. But he
Yeah.
pulled me out of the meeting. But I told my kid, they were like, "You ain't gonna come in there and co-dip." I said, "I can't, but that's what I need y'all to go in there and say." They went in there and said it. The program was actually meant for the kids that he was talking to and their
Mhm.
parents to get a job. It went from that to Atlanta teen leaders, they hiring kids in the summertime. That was 100% an idea I had. I can get 50 kids in here and tell you the same thing. And I won't tell them to say shit.
They
They'll
will.
just say,
Yeah.
go do. We was talking to the kid yesterday, so
Yeah.
we actually understand what's going on. So from that, with that team programming and being at Dunbar Recreation Center for a second, the city didn't have nothing but Dunbar. And it was like 2, 3 years running. So you know what Dunbar got, right? Dunbar had dip.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically, The city of Atlanta Poison Red linked on Dunbar. Dunbar linked on Dip.
Mhm.
But fast forward now, that same center, they won't even allow the kid from their neighborhood to receive them same job that this shit was meant for.
Why do you think that is?
Uh, I relate it to like cop work, lazy cop work. So they don't want to deal with the kids that probably end up killing somebody or getting killed in the
Mhm.
summertime. They rather deal with the kids that's already doing good in school and
Mhm.
doing good with moms and stuff. They don't want to deal with the challenging kid because they feel a certain way. I don't know how they feel because I'm not inside of them, but I always try to tell them like, once upon a time, you was 14, you were 15, you had your own opinions about shit. So why the hell you looking at these kids like, okay, you probably didn't carry no gun, but you did shit that your elders didn't really fuck with.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is just understand that these kids ain't human and they learn it and they still kids. That's the number one thing.
Mhm.
They kid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can tell them, nah, we can't tell them like you. We can't be like you. They respect you. They scared of you. I said, now you trying to undermine my shit. So
Mhm.
I
I
got a
don't
lot.
think and that's the thing, I don't really think it's that they're scared of you. I think it's they
But they tell the
respect you.
kids that.
Well, they tell the kids that,
And then
but
now they trying to undermine what I got going
they
on.
are.
Yeah, for sure.
But I remember, when we first met, when we first started working together, one of the things I was always impressed by is how everyone was saying, I think you said it too, like, when Dip comes to the neighborhood, like, all the young boys put their guns away.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I don't know how. I don't. Listen.
was like, how did that happen organically? Did you or I personally think it was just, like, a lot of respect
I think it was
for
respect.
you.
And to the people out there that watching, I'm telling y'all now, I do not know why that happened. I don't know where it came from. But like she said, I think it's
Mhm,
just respect. I just think it's like 100% them kids got respect for me
mhm,
and they know I love them. And I
right.
never tell them that wrong.
Mhm,
So with me not never telling them that wrong, it always come back to, they go cold dip. So I never be out there when they putting the guns up or none of that. They be
yeah,
done put them up before I get there, but it's like my buddy explained it to me. He like, man, these same boy, every time we out here, they got their guns out, they cussing and
yeah.
they doing what they do. But it's like when you come,
They put them away.
they just like they gotta put. First of all, they don't want to hear me say why
Mhm,
they got this
mhm,
gun out here.
mhm,
Second of all, the respect thing come, and I think the third thing is just like I think they know I want to see them do better than just being there
mhm.
on that type of shit. So
I think youth I mean, they actually know, like, when someone's being genuine with
yeah,
them,
for sure.
when someone's authentic, when someone actually cares about them and loves them,
Yeah,
like, because you can't really manufacture that.
not
So,
at all.
if they sense that, then they respond to it. So, it's their behavior actually that shows you, like, how they think about you
Yeah,
in the same way that you're pouring into them. Like, if they put their guns up, it's because it's not only the respect, but it's how they feel about you,
yeah,
which we heard that yesterday, actually.
yeah. We definitely heard like
Right? When we
I was about
asked
to
the
tell her,
youth
I be crying and shit. I be
You've been
crying and
crying
shit.
since I first met you,
Man,
to be
what?
fair, to
Yeah,
be
yeah. I ain't
fair.
got no problem with my buddy.
No, there's nothing wrong with
Bobo, I
it.
know you gonna see this. Yeah, I be crying. He always
It's
crying.
listen,
Yeah.
I think it's respectable.
Yeah,
I
for
think it
sure.
shows that you have character.
Yeah,
I think it shows that you have courage. I think it also shows that you have a soft spot,
yeah,
and even just hearing you talk about your mom, like, I'm sure a lot of that probably came from her.
yeah.
Right? That she still kinda has that pull on you and you're able to give it back to others like your niece, mama,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, girl, let's play customers. Customers is every time she build, she even got whatever business it is. I might be about to get my hair done today. I might
Okay.
be at the restaurant tomorrow. It's just
Mhm.
whatever
Is
she
she an
feel like.
entrepreneur?
Yeah, that's her game though, customers.
Mhm.
I never heard of nothing
Customers?
like that in my life.
Oh, she calls it
She
customers.
calls it
That's what
customers.
she
Yeah,
okay,
customers. And
customers.
I'm at the nail shop. I'm wherever. Whatever she
You're a
feel like that.
customer.
She a banker.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she whatever. She
Okay.
corporate. She know how to say all that type of stuff.
Okay.
Can I get a
So she just
representative?
rotates.
Yeah, she just
She needs
rotated.
rep okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I wanna talk a little bit about gun violence?
Mhm.
Because I know gun violence reduction is a lot of the work we do, is how we started working together in the first place. Tell me tell me your experience. Like, how'd you even get into this field?
Um, can you imagine going to 7 funerals of your close friend in 53 days? If that, you feel what I'm saying, is me not only trying to be somebody in the neighborhood that the light in a room full of darkness, those two combined, and it's just like we can't keep doing it. We can't keep doing we can't keep doing the obvious of what people set us up to be, what we set ourselves up to be. Um, it can all change, and the only way it gonna change is the people that got the social capital, or the people that got the strong relationship, or the people that got the status in the neighborhood to be able to get out here and say like, nah, we ain't gonna keep doing it. And you got people that's doing it, but
When you say doing it, what do you mean by doing it?
doing it, doing it meaning like, okay, we ain't finna keep on killing each other.
Yeah.
Y'all talk that
Murder.
shit out.
Yeah.
Y'all, nah, we ain't. They ain't finna go on like it keep going on. Okay, we know 7 years ago or 10 years ago, his uncle got get killed by his uncle, but we ain't gonna keep doing that. We're gonna stop this shit today.
Mhm.
And just having the understanding of that. And we got people that's actually doing it, and shout
Mhm.
out to them. They trying to get involved inside of violence reduction and violence prevention, and trying to, de-escalate a lot of stuff. But we got so many people in this city that got the pull, and I don't know if they scared to say something because they're trying to uphold the image. I don't
Uh-huh.
know what it is, but in the meantime, in between time, we got kids out here killing kids.
Mm.
We got adults out here killing adults. We got kids killing them. We got it's a cycle of bullshit.
Mhm.
And ain't no way to stop that cycle if you don't get the people that got the connection, or the people that they listen to get out here and say, man, enough of this shit, man. We can't keep doing it to each other because I don't want to keep on. I don't want people to keep on just relaying that shit to it's the children doing shit. Cause I work inside the hospital with the IV program. The average age coming in, the motherfucker is 27,
Right.
26 years old. Them ain't 10. It just get, how you want to say, illuminated. Or
Mm.
it get a bigger spotlight on it when somebody coming in there 15,
Yeah.
13 and shit. That's a bigger spotlight.
Well, I think too because I think there's still this narrative of, we wanna protect the kids.
Yeah.
We don't wanna see kids out here shooting each other, but no one's doing, like, like, really what it takes to get them to stop shooting
But
each
what
other.
kid you trying to protect?
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah, we gonna talk that. We
yeah,
talking today. We gonna
yeah,
talk shit. We gonna talk this shit. We gonna talk it because
yeah. I'm
you
talking
know
about black and brown children.
Yeah, but I'm talking about black and brown children, but which black and brown children are we talking about? Because I just told
Mhm,
you that at the end of the day, they only want to deal with the kids that's doing right,
mhm.
but the kids that's liable to do shoot, get shot,
Mhm.
they don't want to deal with them.
Well, because 'cause they've already written them off as being bad or being a shooter. Like, I don't even think people realize, like, these young people, like, the kid we spoke with yesterday, and I asked a group of what was it, 6 of them,
5.
5 of them. I said, "What's on your mind?" Like, when we're opening up this brave space for youth, ages 14 to 21, so young people, I said, "What's on your mind?" Like, you all open up the discussion, and what was the first topic of
Politics,
politics. But if you, like, just bring them out in a crowd or you just ask them a question, like, people will assume that, "Oh, that's a shooter." Like, we don't wanna you know what I mean? Like, we don't really
we
wanna
don't want to deal with that
invest.
type of
We don't wanna
kid.
invest in that
Yeah,
type of kid. But they have no idea. Like, these kids have gifts, they have talents.
but
Um,
you got people coming out and they saying, "Yeah, the youth." Yeah, which youth are y'all talking about?
yeah.
Because I got Mario. that was working in this program
Mhm.
the year before I stopped working for the city of Atlanta. And the next year, y'all don't give him a job saying he don't got his paperwork. But we all knew, don't call it what it is. Your mama ain't really like equipped to handle that type of stuff.
Mhm.
So I had all this information, but y'all won't give him a job the year after.
Mhm.
And that year he got killed at 3 o'clock in the evening. But let me ask you a question. If Mario had a job at 3 o'clock in the evening, where he would have been?
He would have been at work.
Thank you. Thank you.
'Cause it's not like he didn't want to work, he wanted to
But
work.
on the back end of that, then you got Montravia Pitts. He was Mario's friend too. He was one of them kids, carry guns, stuff like that, but he was working the year before. Come like end of the summer, probably some after that, he got killed in the daytime when Terrio got shot.
Mhm.
5, 6 o'clock in the evening. Let me
Mhm.
ask you another question. If Trey Trey had a job, what Trey Trey would have been?
At work.
Thank you. So yeah, the youth, I don't really understand that shit because what youth y'all trying to attack? I mean, not attack, but what
Mhm.
youth are y'all trying to provide something for?
The ones who,
Thank
like,
you.
they got their parents, know
Thank
how to
you.
fill out the paperwork,
Judges,
they got
we just finna
support.
call it. Let me call
Call
it right
it.
quick.
Call it, go ahead.
Judges, nephews, and sons and nieces. The
Of
male, the male son, the male daughter. You feel what I'm saying? Them type of people. You don't want to deal with Lil Ray Ray, who
Mhm.
mama ain't coming home at nighttime, but got 3 little brothers that he trying to take care of and
Mhm.
make sure they good. So he taking them to summer camp and stuff like that. You don't want to deal with him because he subject to do something because he trying to survive.
Mhm.
So he subject to carry a gun or he subject to break in a car. He subject to do that type of stuff because he trying to survive. That's the only way he know how to survive.
Right.
Cause the mom, she in and out of jail and stuff like that happening. So
Well, also 'cause no one invested in her.
there you go. So
So
now you ain't looking at the now we
right,
looking at the underlying
right,
issue.
right.
But the people that's in power, who they got the wrong goddamn people in power, the people that's in place who's supposed to be able to see this stuff or supposed to be able to be the ones that, you know, impact these folks in a positive way, they not willing to deal with them kids. They willing to deal with the people we just talking about. We got a sheriff nephew.
Yeah.
We gonna give him a job
People who are, like, less at risk, essentially.
for
Those are
sure.
the ones that
No,
they
what it is they want to deal with at risk. Yeah, less at risk,
less at
but they don't
risk.
want to deal with the high
At
risk.
risk, the highest
They don't want
risk.
to deal with the high risk.
They don't.
And the high
They
risk
don't.
every day, these the kids that we can actually talk to. Cause at the end of the day, like I said, Jay, they still kids.
Absolutely.
They kids, and they don't know what they want.
Yeah.
They don't know, but they got their own opinion.
Mhm.
You got to be able to respect that. I said this a lot of time when I was working with Pars and Rec. When these kids get 13 years old, y'all be like, fuck them.
Mhm.
And that's the truth. And you can look at it. If you go to
Mhm.
a football game, 6 and under through like 10 and under, 8 and under, parents there. You get to a 12 and under game, ain't nobody there but the coaches, a couple of people that probably want them to go to their middle school
Mhm.
and shit like ain't no parents and shit there.
What do you
So
why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know if it's because the parents got other kids that they
Mm.
probably trying to deal with. I don't know if they just really trying to throw the kids out there like you grown now. I don't know what it really is, but I know that's an issue that should get some kind of focus on.
Mhm. Mhm.
Cause when these kids get 13 years old, they like, shit, you don't have to go out there and get your own.
Mhm.
Even go from, I ain't finna keep buying you no school clothes cause I got your little brother them
To
need some
take
shit.
care of, right?
You see what I'm saying? So now you throwing them out there at the fend for itself. But you want him to get here and it's 20 feet in the air and he ain't got but a 2 foot ladder. What he
Mhm.
supposed to do? He turn into
Mhm.
whatever he gonna turn into, whatever
Mhm.
his environment provide. So if he see Dip out there standing on the corner selling reefer, he wanna go try to sell him some reefer to get him some money.
Mhm.
Or he wants some quick money, he gonna break in the car with his crew them. You feel what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You turning these kids into some shit. And then on the back end, you wanna say, well, we wanna make sure the youth do this. Which you? Y'all not trying to really deal with these youth. And I don't seen it because
Mhm.
I don't been on the inside of it, trying to change shit, and I don't got on the outside of it and watch y'all still do
Mhm.
the same shit that I try to get y'all not to do. So,
What do
it's a
you
double-edged sword. It
what do
just
you think they're most influenced by? Like, because we have a lot of youth that are killing other youth. So what do you think they're most influenced by?
I
Is it just the person, like, in the neighborhood? Like, is it the music? What is it?
I want it's collaborative.
Mhm.
So they gonna look up to. I give them something good to look up to. So that's why they put their guns and shit up.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
it got something to do with the music too. But I don't want to solely blame it on that shit.
Right.
But I feel like this: if you making music and you got a platform and you got these goddamn kids listening to you, it's your fucking job to tell these kids, hey man, this just rap.
Mhm.
This just entertainment. Don't go y'all ass out here and do this. Don't go out here and do this, but you got motherfuckers steady getting accolades and Grammys and all this stuff on the back end and you putting that bullshit out here and these kids listen to this shit, they gonna go
Mhm.
smoke somebody. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna quote
Yeah.
nobody rap lyric because I listen to that shit.
Yeah.
I just know better. But these kids out here they don't know better. But I just feel like the people that's making that type of music, they obligated to say this shit. Like, hey man, this shit just entertainment.
Do you think they understand that though at 13? Especially if they're growing up in,
Man, these
you
kids
know?
understand that shit at 6 years old.
No, do they understand that it's just entertainment?
Nah, they
Meaning
don't
that
under
they,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
nah,
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
finna say they
Like that
understand what
they,
they saying, but yeah,
right.
I don't think they understand it's just entertainment.
You think they're, like, impressed by that kinda
They
lifestyle?
definitely impressed and they think they got something to prove.
Okay.
They got something
'Cause
to
that's
prove.
that age, especially for young men, 13 to about 15,
Mhm.
16. Like, you're trying to
Gotta find your way,
you're trying to find your way. You're
for
also
sure.
trying to, like, you're trying to test yourself. Like, am I who I think I am, right?
Yeah, and, you know, with that when I got something to prove or, your homie them, they bout that, and you
Right.
probably ain't really about that, but you probably be the one end up getting fucked up because you ain't really like that.
Mhm.
But you trying to portray an image or you trying to put on for whoever you trying to put
Mhm.
on for. And at the end of the day, it gonna lead to you being where you finna be at, and your homie them gonna be with some more homies and stuff. I
Mhm.
don't seen it happen 1,000 times, and I tell them,
Yeah.
like I tried to tell you that you in jail now. Now I'm sending you 40s and stuff, but I just was trying to tell you
Yeah.
to chill out. So what shouted them at who you was just running with? Man, I don't deal with them no more. But I told you they were gonna happen.
Mhm.
They ain't your real homies and stuff. You out here trying to impress them. You can't even get them to send you $42 to get you some underwear and shit because it's winter coming up and you in jail.
And they don't know. They have no idea
But
that,
when you sit there and try to tell them, and you try to tell them, and I never leave them. I talk shit to them, but I ain't gonna never leave 'em. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? I'm still gonna be there holding their hand, trying to make sure everything go the way it need to go. But for the most part, I tell them, like, hey, these people ain't gonna be here. And nobody gonna be here but your mom. And you finna take your mom. Your mom finna do a 15-year bid with you too.
Mhm.
They never see it until they get in there. Now I've been here 6 years, Cole Dip. My mama she ran her pocket ragged. She can't really
Yeah.
do it. I gotta keep calling you. Like it's just stuff like that.
Stuff
But
like that.
you be done told 'em. Well, I know I be done told 'em.
So one thing that I've been thinking a lot about lately, in the work that I do, like working with some of the youngest survivors of gun violence, right?
Mhm.
So I get to hear their experience both from like shooters as well as those who survived,
For sure.
right? Because a lot of times it could be both.
Mhm.
And one thing I've been hearing a lot lately that just has my mind blown is that there's a lot of there's a lot of gun violence happening between friends.
In a
Like,
person.
yeah, but, like, literally, this was my friend this morning, and by this afternoon, this person filled me up.
In a person.
You know what I mean? I think for me, that's so mind-blowing because it's like you're just at that age where you're trying to establish what a friend is. Like, you're just trying to learn, like, what does it mean to be a friend? And so, like, do you know, like, what that does to your mind when, like, someone who you literally call your friend, like, you was just hanging out with this person and they just shoot you, not once, but multiple times. And then you're trying to, like, grow up, trying to deal with whatever your injuries are. And then on top of that, you're trying to process, like, well, who can I trust? Like, and a lot of times we're not even talking about this. Like the news is always promoting like, the fatalities or the crimes that end up, like big stories.
Yeah.
right? No one's talking to those who have actually survived to
Not at
tell
all.
their experience, and it's horrible, it's devastating, and people have no idea what that's like. But my question is, do you think youth, if they were to hear of other youth survivors, like, telling their story, do you think that that would influence them to put their guns down in the same way that, like, when Dip walks in the neighborhood that they'll, or do you think it's different?
I think first of all, first and foremost, I'm gonna say some that the elders used to tell me in the neighborhood when it comes to like people that's your friend that be done shot you
Mhm.
or backstab you or something like that. They say the people that know you the most try you the most
Mm. Mhm. Mhm.
because they know how to
They know how.
they know how to try you and stuff. So, but them getting it out and being able to talk about that, that's something I'm kind of working on too. Um, Developing some stuff, but I got some gunshot survivors as well as some youth gunshot survivors, and I'm gonna try to put them together and create something like this so they can be able to talk that stuff out, and hopefully it goes where it need to go.
Mhm.
Um, I'm just working on it now. I'm just brainstorming it now, but I think I got something going. But I think that'll give shine a light that ain't been shined. It'll shine a light on a lot of the stuff that going on between ways of thinking, the ways of trying to get your lit back, and the trauma you're dealing with, um, the therapy you got to go through,
Mhm.
both physical and mental. Just getting your body back right. Um,
Right. While you're still trying to
while
develop,
you still
you
trying to
know?
like, so I'm gonna try. We're gonna try to shine a light, and I'm gonna have you around. We're gonna do what we need
For
to do.
sure. For
We're
sure.
gonna definitely do what we need to do. But I'm working on trying to shine a light on it. But I know it'll definitely help, and it'll shine a light that people ain't really, like you said, they ain't really acknowledging. They want to put
Mhm.
it out of the fatalities and stuff like that. And I just want to get it understanding why we right here talking about it now before it slipped my mind. The news or whoever always kick it up, always put it together like it's gang violence.
Mhm.
The shit ain't gang
No.
violence. It's gun violence. It's gun violence. People, this gang, that gang. I don't see that. Cause most of the time when somebody gets shot, just like you just said,
It's a
the
friend.
shit interpersonal.
Yeah.
I know these folk. Me and these people dealing with the same girl. You feel what
Mhm.
like it's an understanding. There ain't no gang. We ain't over here throwing up sets and disrespecting.
Right.
No, I know these people. This shit interpersonal.
Mhm.
So I think a lot of the media need to, just actually look at what's going on. But how can they look at what's going on and they ain't got no relationship? They
Right.
can't go to the bluff at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. You see what I'm saying? So they'll never get an understanding. What they used to say, if you ain't from the ghetto, don't come to the ghetto.
Mhm.
And that's how people think. So they just gonna report whatever they hear or whatever they seem right or whatever agenda they can push. So
Mhm.
they can push another agenda because all of it, at the end of the day, some getting pushed. Some getting pushed. And it's on us to, as being frontline workers, to be
Mhm.
able to just withstand some of that stuff and make sure, it gets shielded from our
Right.
kids. And, we'll take on it. And then on the back end of it, us being able to put out some positive stuff or even being able to let them just get it out like say a brave space.
Right.
Let them just get it out. So on the flip end of it, a lot of the youth that's coming behind them can just be like, okay, maybe I can't do this, but I can probably talk to somebody about it.
Right.
Damn, he got shot, and this a friend of mine. Maybe I can talk to him about what he went through, and
Mhm.
maybe I can get another understanding on what's going on. But and two, like I don't like when somebody gets shot and people kind of glorify that shit.
Right.
I hate
Right.
that shit.
Right. And on top of that, I think that's another thing worth mentioning that, another thing that's not really spoken about is for some of the youth, after they've been shot, like the shooter, a lot of times will post about it, right? Um, like literally, like either post about it, text them, like still be in contact with them, or they're like antagonizing them.
Yeah.
So I think the thing that's challenging, even in this work, but especially when working with youth, is the fact that, like, how do you reach that youth that not only has, you know, shot someone, but also now they're glorifying it and, like, trying to make it into a thing where they could go viral or trying to make a name for themselves. It's like no remorse.
Mm.
So, how, you know what I mean? Like, how can we reach those youth? Because it used to be, if you fought someone and that, that was kinda it,
Mhm.
right? You resolve the conflict. But now we're getting into a space, I think, where there's, like, not only unresolved conflict, but there's, like, no remorse.
Um, Imma just put it as it's a new day and age,
Yeah,
and what's what was once cool to us, it ain't cool to them.
yeah.
It's cool for them to do that. It is the new it thing to
Mhm,
be able to do that. But two, as we talking about that, I kinda see it not being cool with them no more. Like, I know, like, I ain't gonna say you, but I deal with them all the time. I'm with the
mhm,
highest risk at
mhm,
all times.
mhm.
That's just what it is. When they
Yeah,
say high risk, who dealing with the high risk people?
it's you.
Dealing with the high risk
Yeah.
people. I'm kind of seeing that it's not. They more so backing up off of that antagonizing or disrespecting the dead or fuck your dead homie or we smoking on this. They do it, but it ain't like it used to be. That drill stuff was just it was going on and
Mhm,
they were going crazy with that. Now it's kind of like it going from okay, I'm gonna kill and I ain't gonna get no money from killing, but I'm gonna just kill and just talk about
mhm,
it. And going from that to like, fuck that, I'm broke. I need to go get me some money. So you even get some of the rappers to start rapping about getting money again.
mhm,
Like say a Young Cheese, how they used to do it. You rap about getting paper.
mhm,
There wasn't no rap about murder.
mhm.
We not really rapping about that. So a lot of that disrespecting the dead and a lot of that rapping about shooting and killing, it kind of dying down.
You think so?
Everything a cycle, Jay.
Yeah.
That shit gonna be gone in a minute. In a minute, they're gonna be rapping about goddamn him back a flip or some shit like that. I don't
You
know.
think so?
I'm telling you, everything a cycle. You see how nobody was rapping about like after G's and them. Nobody rapping about getting money and shit no more. Flip a brick, sell a pound, none of that shit. They went to start rapping about that shit. That
Mm,
shit fading away. And I'm around them every day.
mhm.
That shit fading away. So they gonna have to come up with something new to rap about.
What do you think that'll be?
I have no idea.
What do you want it to be? Because especially with you doing the
I
music
wanted to,
therapy.
I actually wanted I want people to start coming out and it ain't gotta be positive, but giving a message.
Mhm,
We got away from that shit. We
mhm,
got away from that shit. After a couple of people stopped rapping and shit like that. Like people ain't really like giving no message. You can rap about what the fuck you want to rap about. That ain't no problem. But put a message inside your shit.
mhm,
Especially if you got a platform to do it. Like, baby, he ain't only he rapping, but this boy out here doing, he leading by example. He putting stuff together for kids going back to school. He doing like that boy understand. The boy over that Oakland City, that boy understand
mhm,
that at the end of the day, we gonna have to do this the right way. I can rap about what I want to rap about, but what I'm finna come out here and show you is this how you take care of a neighborhood. This how you be a leader. This how you give back to your community.
mhm,
And I salute him for it. And I know these folks personally, but I just
mhm,
don't. We don't always gotta like. That my homeboy. I ain't gonna
mhm,
drop no names now. But that
mhm,
boy really understand. 21 Savage, he understand. He rap about what he rap about, but I personally done seen him put together financial literacy, stuff
mhm.
like that. Young Dro, he doing what he got to do. You got people like that,
Do you
Quavo. You got people like that.
Yeah.
They out here. They know they can do other shit, but they just like, all right, I need to make sure we doing this because this shit getting out of hand.
Do you think that gets confusing, especially because they're so young, right? Like their mind, like
It kind of confused the kid
their
because you rap
thought,
about something and you
yeah,
doing something else.
yeah.
But on the flip end of it, you steady you got to steady pump that message out there. You got to steady put that message out there. You got to
If
put it
it's,
out there.
I think if you put it out there, but it's confusing, like it doesn't, it's not gonna have the effect you want,
Yeah, but
right?
what I will say is, confusing or not, the message is the message at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Even if it can be you rapping about this, but I'm showing you this, and I just relay it back to me. Yeah, I sell a lot of dope, but I'm still telling you take your ass to school. You can't hang right here.
Mhm.
I'm still telling you, I'm still like him. You know, we buying tennis shoes for whoever need to be. Like I'm doing something. I'm doing something in the neighborhood because I'm fucking up the neighborhood. But on the back end of it, I'm
Or you
taking care.
were, right?
Yeah, I
Because you
was.
don't, I mean, you don't do that
Nah,
now.
nah. But on the back end of it, I still was taking care of, grandma need a light bill paid.
Yeah.
We doing that type of stuff. We
Mhm.
definitely doing that. So it can be that. It can be that. It called balance.
Mhm. Imma push back on that a little bit though.
Go ahead.
Only because, like, considering the work that you do now,
Yeah.
like, you're doing amazing work. Like, you have such a positive influence on the youth, and you don't sell dope. So I think that who you are today and what you're promoting today is far more effective because, if you were still living that life
Yeah.
but you were still doing good, like, I think that like, people would see that and they'll be like, "Okay, like, I could do both, like, dip."
Yeah.
But if the dip of today isn't doing both, I think that speaks more about who you are because it's where you've evolved to
But it called
versus
growth. It called
it's
growth.
called
Yeah.
growth. So my whole thing is, like, why not promote, like, how it is today? Like, it's not really a balance. You know what I mean?
It's definitely a balance, Jay.
I Me
It's
personally, I feel like because like, for example, like, why would you even encourage someone to do or sell dope now? Like, you wouldn't.
nah, I wouldn't
You
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't encourage nobody to sell dope, but what I will say is, I'm just gonna say it, these kids still know I'm a gangster.
Mhm,
They still know that. They know, like, go dip, he positive, he gonna do everything on the
mhm.
positive end. But like we were just talking about when we first was in here, like the tipping point.
Yeah.
People don't know how to play with me.
Well, they respect you.
People know not
They
to play with
respect
me.
you.
People know how to play with
They
me.
respect
So
you.
on you're right. But on the flip end, that you keep understand that who I am. And
Mhm,
I'm always gonna be who I am. But what I show them and what I teach them is totally different from who they know I am. Yeah, Coach Dip can go out here and did that in the third. They definitely know that. But on the flip end, I ain't showing them that.
mhm,
I don't even like the kid see me smoke weed.
mhm.
And my buddy them, they laugh at me behind that
Yeah.
because sometimes we be standing on the stoop and the kids just walk by and I had to hold it in.
And you think they don't know?
I think they do know, but they
They
know I
know.
got enough respect for them not to
Okay.
show them that
So
shit.
the respect is reciprocal.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that
I think that's what it
what it
is
really is
because
exactly.
yeah, I think that's what it
Respect
really is. And respect that goes both ways
all the way
because
around the way. Exactly.
I think where a lot of adults get it wrong, it's like, I'm gonna tell you what to do, but I'm not actually going to like model that. Or even because I'm not saying that you're perfect or that you have to be perfect, but even the fact of like, you know what I mean? You trying to show them that, okay, I know maybe what I'm doing isn't really what I want to be doing or what I want to show you what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, maybe it's more of like the reciprocity of respect than anything else,
Yeah.
right?
Gotta reciprocate that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta reciprocate. So, at the end of the day, it can't be like a one-way street. And at the same thing I was saying with, you know, people that's in place, understanding that once upon a time you was them.
Mhm.
So don't look at them in another light because you in a certain place
Yeah.
and you could provide some stuff that can impact these kids coming up for years to come. But you so focused on trying to make sure you look out for the kids that's
Mhm.
doing right. It's like you was once them kids.
Mhm.
Fuck with them, cause somebody fuck with you.
Which goes back to the authenticity
There
part,
you go. Cause
right?
a kid,
And
I'm gonna
being
tell you
able
who's
to
gonna tell you the
relate to
truth
them.
about you. Imma tell you who gonna tell the truth about you, who gonna know the truth about your ass. Ain't gonna be no baby.
Mhm.
You gonna be a teenager.
Mhm.
They gonna know
And they
out
do.
the gate. I was with my girl in Target probably like a month ago. It probably we in Atlanta Station. You know how that get with the
Mhm.
kid. We in Target. We in Atlanta Station. It was probably 9 young dudes in there.
Mhm.
They, they just talking, messing up
Mhm.
stuff, but it's a security guard. It's a police in there,
Mhm.
and I seen the police looking at them. I'm just walking around. We shopping, buying some stuff, and I just pushed up on them. I'm like, "Hey, shout y'all might don't want to do that, man, because you don't want to cause no trouble to yourself and all that on the first end, but
Mhm.
on the flip end, y'all and him doing it to each other, wrestling stuff. It's a gang of girls downstairs. You is right, big. You is right. You is right. But when they left, a girl like, how the hell you just can talk to any teenager?
Yeah.
Like, I don't damn know. I
Yeah.
don't really know. It just,
It's the appeal.
yeah, it
Like,
just, you know what I'm saying? It's just me being who I am and just, all right, I just need to, I'm the one that gonna say something. Ain't no, I'm finna stand back and be like, well, them y'all nigga don't listen to nobody. And hey, man, you can take this for what you want to take it for, or you ain't. But I'm gonna give you some game, shout out. I'm not finna tell you what to do. And I think that where we get it mixed up at. We get it
yeah.
mixed. It like I can't tell them what to do. Nobody can tell nobody what to do.
Yeah. You don't come
You
off
offer
like,
them some
yeah.
advice.
Yeah.
And I just like to say give them game, but it's offering advice
Yeah.
coming
You don't
from you
force it on
being,
them.
yeah,
You don't
coming
force
from
it
you
on 'em.
being 35, 40 years old and them being 17. You don't live their life 2 times. So at the end of the day, you can say something to them, but not trying to tell them, y'all doing it. No, that ain't
Yeah.
how you even come off to it. No, you can't do, but I'm telling you, them teenagers, they gonna see the bullshit in you, and you can be down the street. They already see the bullshit before you even get up on them.
Mhm.
They gonna already let you know, like, we ain't with, and they gonna say it. Yeah, we ain't with that shit. We don't wanna talk to you.
Mhm.
We don't wanna deal with you.
Mhm.
But I don't get that too, because a lot of them be like, that go deal.
Yeah.
A lot of them like know me.
It's you.
Yeah,
A lot of it is you, and you
yeah,
just
for
have
sure.
to own up to it. I don't think
For
you
sure.
ready to just fully embrace that yet, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know what
You
it is.
don't
I
yeah.
don't really
I mean, you
know.
wanna be humble, and
Yeah.
that's good, but also, I mean, people need to know the kinda respect that you have. So, I wanna close us out, but
Close it out. Where we going? I'm just talking shit. I'm just talking shit.
we getting back to work.
For sure, for sure.
I wanna close it out, but I want you to tell people about your organization, how long it's been around, like, the work that you do, all of that.
Uh, um, my organization is We Care Atlanta. We Care Atlanta been around since I've been around, basically, but it been like non-profited, on paper for like what, like a year. Yeah, I think like a year and a half. I got a one sheeter here. I'm just gonna read it off. Yeah, I gotta read it off because I do so much shit I don't even remember a lot of stuff I do. So first of all is facilitation of evidence informed community violent intervention training. That's what I was telling y'all about earlier. Including topics like de-escalation and conflict mediation at local and regional and national levels, or deployment of after shooting responses. That's shooting responses. We go out to shooting when somebody gets shot. We go out to shoot. Do a shooting response, whether it's a balloon release or just being there for the family. To reduce the likelihood of retaliation, the violence provide survivors, community members with the resources to promote the healing, as we probably bring in like a joint say, like a brave space to, have them be able to talk out their traumas. Coordination of events that provide safe space to engage the community and share information about available resources. As in, I'm having a Mechanicsville reunion. I'm gonna have a resource center. Y'all should want to come out. It's gonna be August the 10th. Gonna be the biggest thing they ever seen. They have 'em in the neighborhood. A lot of resources available, and I'm working on seniors. I'm working on y'all a bingo game. I'm working on it. I'm working
Yeah.
on it. I'm working on it. So definitely don't quote me on it now, but I'm definitely working on the bingo game for y'all. Refer the resources that increase it. uh, I'm sorry, access to basic needs, including employment, childcare, educational support, housing and utility assistance for all community members, provision of music therapy and survival for survivors of gun violence and families. Music therapy is a program that I kind of I'm spearheading. I'm dealing with it from coming from the Ivy standpoint. We're working with Ivy, putting we putting gunshot survivors basically inside a studio, understanding that giving them an understanding that everything is therapy because dealing with black and brown people, when we hear therapy, the first thing we say is, shit, I ain't crazy. So yeah, that's what we
Yeah,
say. Shit, I ain't crazy.
yeah.
So I just give them the understanding that basically anything you do to relieve yourself is therapy. That can be getting a haircut, going to the barber shop. That can be getting your nails done. That can be shopping. So music, we just try to intertwine that with it. I'm always gonna bring Gearside Wellness in on some stuff and have a brave space and just giving them understanding and I think the youth actually gravitating toward brave space. I don't know, it's something about the words, it's something about it that they like, so they want to come to brave space and I'm gonna be able to provide that for them. I'm a co-facilitator inside of brave space and I'm definitely happy for that. Provision of mentorship for youth at high risk for justice and violence involvement, coordinating of opportunity for youth for summer employment. I got a summer employment program that we doing Brace Bay with. That what we've been talking about through the process of having this podcast. But we've been luckily to receive some funding from Annie Casey and we employ 5 youth to teach them how to pay themselves. So what we got them doing is they working in barbershop, learning how to cut hair. They working in nail salon, learning how to do nails. We got a kid working in the grocery store, learning how to be an entrepreneur and run his own business, and 2 kids working inside the studio, learning how to run the music business. But we actually paying these kids to learn how to pay themselves. That's basically what it is because we got youth employment that going on around the city, but nobody is teaching these kids how to pay themselves because the summer money gonna end. What you gonna do behind that? Especially if you're not providing them another job. They're going through the whole year. We're working on year round employment, but we teaching these kids how to take care of themselves so they can always get money hand over fist their own way. All right, what else we got? I'm sorry, y'all, for that. For the facilitation of individual development classes and topics including life skills, parenting, and mental health. Partnering with who? Y'all say it with me.
Girasol Wellness.
Alright, man, you know what I'm saying? Be
You
my
like to call
folk,
it
man.
Girasol. It's
Yeah, it's
Girasol.
Girasol. I
There you
like to
go.
call it Girasol
Girasol
because it's a
Wellness.
G. I apologize to join, but
Girasol.
it's Girasol. We're
Yeah,
gonna go
Girasol.
Girasol with it, but in partnership with Girasol Wellness, we're gonna do some great work coming up. And the last one I got on here is on advocacy and organizing efforts around issues impacting residents from upper represented and historically devastated communities. I don't think I even got to talk
I don't
about
even think
that.
that's all of it. It's
Yeah,
probably
that
not
ain't
even
that
all
ain't
of
that
it.
ain't
Yeah.
everything. That's just what I got on the that what could fit on the one sheeter.
Yeah.
It's so much that we Carolina does inside of Atlanta, and we just want to walk the walk. We ain't the people that gonna talk the talk. This kind of new for us with being on a podcast or being in the media spotlight. I done been offered the spotlight probably 100 times, and I always deny it because I just want to do the work. But I think now that I got some kind of motion going on with this stuff, I gotta let people know that I'm the one that actually doing the work. Because if I don't, people gonna keep standing on my shoulders, getting all the accolades, and me not making a relationship with the people that I need to make a relationship with, and they end up getting funding that's supposed to come to the kids that I got going on. And by the time the money get to me, the resources I got so low, it ain't
You
enough to
can't do
keep
the
going.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so just me y'all just look out for me. 'Cause I'm probably gonna be on a couple of shows. I gotta stop cussing. I know, but you know, what I'm
Well,
saying we
this
gonna
is Brave Space,
yeah,
so
we're gonna get it
yeah,
together.
don't
We're gonna
play.
definitely get it together. But
Where can they follow you?
y'all can follow me at. I don't know if y'all want to follow that page. I'll just playing. Y'all can follow me at Sucker Free Stepson on Instagram. That's SUCKA Free Stepson on Instagram, and Twitter is Sucker Free Stepson, but the C is not in it. It's SUKA because it was too many words for Twitter. I mean X, y'all call it X. I don't have a Facebook. Um, y'all can follow the nonprofit on Instagram at We Care. That's WIICARE. Uh, I think it's We Care Atlanta. I'm mistaken, but soon you type in WIICARE, it's gonna pop up. So hopefully you all follow me, and you actually can follow me in the streets. I'm in Mechanicsville like so much. I think I'm in the street more than the lines in the street. So I'm on the concrete. I'm always gonna be in the pavement with it. Yeah,
Okay. So Dip, I've been asking you a lot of questions
for
like I
sure,
always do.
for sure.
But I'm gonna let you ask me one question.
All right,
You get to ask me one question, almost anything. And I'll make it a brave space. I'll answer your question.
all right. Uh, okay, Dr. Joy. I have a question I want to ask you.
Okay.
And if you on the plan, and if you on, why why did you get into the work?
Why did I get into the work? I think I was called into this work because about a year ago, so I started doing the brave space 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And it seemed like something I should be doing because it's related to mental health. And I've been doing mental health for probably about 8 years now. So it kind of made sense. But I was also questioning it because it seems like working to reduce gun violence specifically, at first it seemed like, should I be doing this? I was kind of questioning like if I should be doing this work. But I started to realize like there were all of these little almost like seeds. You know how you talk about seeds?
Oh yeah,
There were all these little seeds like sprinkled throughout my life and just different experiences I've had that kind of added up to no, I think I was actually called to work in this specifically.
yeah.
So, and I had to kind of wrestle with that because I mean for a lot of reasons. Um but like for example, I used to work at a gun range.
I think you told me that story.
That's it.
Yeah,
And it was literally just a job, like, it paid well, it was a part-time job, so it was near my full-time job, so I took the job so I could pay to go back to school, so I could pay for classes. So it was just a job. But, and while I was there, like, I realized, like, I'm a pretty good shot. Like, and I
okay,
actually ended up teaching. I was a teacher. So
yeah,
I was teaching people how to shoot.
yeah.
And, like, I thought it was just a job, but years later, coming back to this work now, I'm just like, I don't think that was random. You know what I
Nah,
mean? Because now that experience taught me a lot about, like, just the power firearms have and how it can really change your behavior. Like,
what?
my behavior changed. Like, I did. So the job used to let us carry, right? For our own protection. So
Hmm.
they used to let us carry. They used to, like, let us you know, wear a gun. So I would wear it when I'm, like, coming home, like, walking back and home, but from my apartment to work or whatever, and I really thought I was, like
Macho.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
I wish somebody would step to me, and I was open carry too, because I just felt like, okay, if someone I'm
Thought you were Doc Holiday. Just be real.
no, because it
Yeah,
really I thought I
you
just
thought you
wanted
were
to
Doc
make sure.
Holiday. Yeah, for sure.
But it really changes your mind and the way you think. Like, I really felt like, okay, if someone steps to me while I'm in this parking lot
Gonna open
late
their
at
head,
night while I'm coming home
holding your head.
and I'm a good shot,
Yeah,
like, it's a wrap. Like, I really felt strongly like but it's a false sense of security too, because at the
believe
end
it.
of the day, like, only God can, like, truly provide me protection and keep me safe, and I don't need a firearm to do that, and actually, I feel safer, like, without one because I don't feel threatened, and as soon as you carry it, you automatically have this sense of, like, I need to be on alert.
Yeah.
Is someone gonna try me? You start reading people wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can start reading people wrong. So I say all that to say I do think that I was called into this work, and honestly too, I'm kinda, like, shy, introverted type.
Yeah.
So but you see, like, we're on this podcast, this is the only thing that has really, like, pushed me out for
Being
me to
able.
say, "You know what? Like, I could be more public with
Yeah,
this."
you don't like people.
Y I
I
no, I
know
like people. I love people. I love people.
you don't like people.
I love people.
Alright, she love
I
people now.
do.
She love people, everybody.
I do love people. I
Cap,
just love my time, my me time, my private time too.
cap.
No, I do love people.
Alright.
Like,
Alright, y'all.
I
I'm
do.
just playing. Jay a pretty good person though, man. She a real good person. I just wanted to say that because, she kinda is introverted. And she coming out of that shell with dealing with frontline, doing this frontline stuff with the brave space. And I can actually attest to that because she actually done brought me in and like I really like doing brave spaces. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I be getting people to open up.
Yeah.
So
So we
that's
good?
it. We good.
Wanna leave with an affirmation or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'll affirm you. You affirm me.
All right, go. You go first.
Okay. Dip, I think you're amazing.
Mhm.
You're a respectable man of God. I like what you're doing in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yes.
And you gonna be a daddy
For
pretty soon.
sure. Yes,
You
yes,
having a
yes. Yes,
baby,
yes.
and you
Yes.
having a baby girl.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
you
yes,
gonna be
yes.
a girl dad.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just want to affirm you in that.
Alright, so join. You're a strong black queen. Um, when my mom used to always say, "Y'all look to us to lead, and y'all got our back." I never really understood that, and I have a sister,
Yeah.
but you like the sister that I always wanted, Jay. I can't even lie to you.
Yeah.
From the first time I met you to me going through what I went through with Mario, and you just being there for me, Jay. I really appreciate you. You keep doing what you're doing. You going places. And if you feel like you ain't going places, you know I'm going places, and you know who going with me, right?
Yeah.
Alright then.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Alright then. So
Thank
that
you.
what it is.
Thank you.
Alright.